Hello colleagues, you are welcome to lesson 15. In this lesson we will learn how to set up an assignment activity. Let's assume you have given a written assignment and you want learners to submit a soft copy. In a traditional setting, they print it out or they write it in, with the photocopy sheet and submit to you physically. The same thing can be mimic online. In this case, they will upload a file and you will download and read it. Another option with this version of Moodle is they can also submit by typing in a text editing environment. And as we've learned earlier, any resource, any activity that you want to give out to learners, you need to describe it, the purpose for the activity or the resource, in which case you use a label. So I'm assuming that that has been done. So what you need to do is, it depends on which topic you are and the like. So now I'm just using this to demonstrate to go to add an activity or resource, and we want to set up an assignment. So you select it and you can read about it and find out what the assignment model is used for. If you are not okay, you click on more help. It will take you online, gives you a lot of examples. So let's set the assignment. So here, what is the assignment name? So if you want to have maybe assignment 1 or a particular name that the learners will see on the course page. So assignment 1, assignment 1, assignment 1. Then you can give a brief description about the assignment, the score, what they are supposed to do, if it is going to be uploaded or do answer it online. If you want the description here to be displayed on your course page, then you check this. I'm sure you are aware. If you have additional file, you can upload it. Then here is allow submission from today is 17th May. That's why it has picked it, so you can change it. If maybe you want this assignment to be allowed from maybe 18th, then you change it. And this is the time, so you have 1, that's 000, that's 12 midnight. If you don't want this, then you can unenable it. If you enable it, then you can set it up. Due date is the date of submission. And as a reminder, if you want to know about an area, you click on the question mark in the oval. Due date. So by default, Moodle gives you 1 week. That's if you think 1 week is too much, then you have to reduce the date and the time here. Or if it is too short, you can also include it. But if you want a cutoff date, then you have to enable it. Cutoff date need to be set. If you set the due date and the cutoff date to be the same, then once the due date comes, then the assignment cannot be submitted again. But if you have a cutoff date, so let's assume 24, then you give grace period of 3 days, in which case the assignment will be tagged late submission. Now, submission type. By default, it picks file submissions. So if you want learners to type with a word processor, with any kind of application, and upload for you, then you have to check file submissions. The maximum number of uploaded files, 1 at a time. If you want 3, then you select. Then by default, it picks maximum 50 megabytes, and a Word document can never go beyond this. If you don't want file submissions, then you uncheck it and pick online text submission. In this case, you can limit the learner by enabling this so that they will not go beyond 200 words or 500 words. Once they go beyond, the system will just not accept any additional word after 200. So it's a choice, you can pick any of them. It depends. So maybe in assignment 1 they'll do file submission, in assignment 2 they'll do online text. In that case, they'll type their response in a text editing environment. Feedback types. Now by default you have the feedback comments that you have a folder, you make comment, then have upgrading worksheets, feedback files you can upload, then comment inline with the assignment. If you say yes, you have a folder you can type. Then submission settings. Require students click submit button, and I advise don't pick it because students may a student may want to submit an assignment, especially the file type, file submission, and if you say yes, he or she needs to click on submit button before the file will be submitted, in which case he may think that he has submitted. Require that student accept the submission statement. This, if you want to learn about it, require the student accept the submission statement for all submission to this assignment. So there will be a statement that I agree that all that I've typed I've not plagiarized and blah blah blah. Then attempts reopen. Never. If you want to read about it, you have this. Then manually attempts, you have manual. If you say manually, then how many times can this assignment be submitted? So never. Then we have to go to the submission, group submission set. If you have group, then you can have students submit in groups. So you have group 1, each person submit. Require group to make submission, so the entire group, one person does the submission. But with students submit in groups, you will, if I'm in group A, I will say my colleagues work. Then we have require all group members submit. So if you want to know much about each of this, you click on this and you learn. Then notifications area. If you select yes, then when a student or a learner submits his or her work, you'll be notified. If you select yes to for notify grader about late submission, because we didn't have any cutoff point, so that's why we are not having this. If you select cutoff point, then set you have late submission, yes, it will target. Default setting for notify student, yes. So you too, if you score as an instructor, if you score and you save, then the learner will get a notification that his or her assignment has been graded. Then grade type point. That's when you want, if I want to score this assignment out of 10, then I must come here maximum point 10, and that will be for simple direct grading. You can use rubric guide, you can use marking guide, you can use rubric also. And if you want a rubric, then you must set it. Once you select rubric, then when you click on save and display, it will now allow you to set up the rubric. So if somebody make partial maybe submission, this is the point. If the person didn't answer it to your satisfaction, then this is the point that you have to give. So if you are going for point, that this is what you have. Then we have grade to pass. Let's look at the grade category. If you have some grade categories in the grade book, then you can select it. I'm sure we created the CA. So if you have maybe exam, you can also have that. Then grade to pass normally is used for submissions that you want a learner to make improvement. So until the person pass, the person you have to continue to submit, in which case your settings must change, that you can have multiple kind of submission. They have blind marking. If you pick it, if you select yes, meaning if learners submit their assignment, you don't know whose assignment is this. It will just have some codes and you score and submit, so that there will not be any kind of maybe, oh, this is Amma, this Kofi, and the likes. Then you have use marking workflow. This normally done with several submissions, whereby you may comment, the learner submit. So all this will use marking flow, use marking allocations, or depends on the previous setting. But just a typical assignment out of 10, you don't need to make this kind of selections here. But if it is just to let the learner improve upon his or her studies, then you have to just read much about it. And if you are done, as for the common Moodle settings, we've talked about them already. So save and return to course. Setting assignment is simple, but you need to just make sure. So this, and as you use the platform, you realize that the icon for various activities, various resources have different icons. So if you say this is an assignment, and if it is a journal, you see it. If it is a forum, you look at it, and the likes. I hope you practice this and let learners submit soft copy of their assignments for you to grade. Thank you.